Hey guys, welcome back to another video, and today I'm going to be showing you 3 traps that you can use in chess to absolutely destroy your opponent. Now before we get into it, please make sure you like, subscribe and turn on post notifications so you never miss an upload. The first trap comes from an opening called the Petrov's Defense. If you don't know what this is characterized by the moves e4, e5, knight f3 and knight f6. Usually here, instead of defending the pawn with knight c6, black counterattacks and decides to say, well, if you're going to take my pawn, I'm going to take your pawn. Now, the issue with this is that if you're an experienced player, you know that playing copycat chess isn't good, and this trap shows you exactly why. Now, this is where the trap comes into play. We take the pawn here. Now, if black decides to recapture the pawn here, they have to be very careful now, because after they take the pawn and they play knight takes e4, we play queen e2, and now black has to defend his knight here with something like f5, or probably better is d5. Now, a really bad move here for black would be to play knight f6, and this is where black has fallen right into our trap, and I'll give you a couple seconds to see if you can find the right move that just completely wins on the spot for white. Alright, so if you manage to find it, congratulations, and the move is knight to c6. Now, as you can see here, we've opened up a discovered attack to the king, and we're also attacking the queen. Now, if you're playing bullet, this has happened to me a couple of times, they might actually block with the queen. And I've had situations where I've actually just pre-moved knight takes d8, just assuming that, I don't know, they might block with the bishop or something like that, so then I can take this, the queen next move. But I've actually pre-moved a position where I've had knight d8. So that's just a tip for you guys. If you ever play bullet chess and you have this position, never pre-move knight d8, because you might fall into this counter trap almost that I've fallen into a couple of times before. So yeah, and if they block with a queen, as you can see, we just take. And now to show you the other trap. The next trap here comes from the opening called the Dutch Defense. If you don't know what this is actually characterized by the moves d4 and f5. Now, a move that is good for white here is actually bishop g5, and what we want to see black play is h6, because now after h6 we want to provoke some pawn pushes on the king side from black. So what we play here is actually bishop h4. And now you might be thinking, well, isn't our bishop just getting trapped after moves like g5, bishop g3 and f4? And actually no, we have provoked all these pawn pushes for a reason, and that is because we have one move that improves our position and just makes it a whole lot better for white. I'll give you a couple of seconds to find it. If you manage to find it, congratulations, and the move here is actually e3. And now, if you can see, black can't take this bishop because of the threat of checkmate with queen h5. So, because they can't take the bishop, they have to make a defensive move, defending this diagonal. Maybe something like e6, just giving the king some breathing room. And now after this, we just take the pawn. After takes, we take, and we have won a pawn. We're ahead in development, and black has an extremely weak king side. And now, onto the next trap. This next trap comes from the Queen's Gambit Accepted, and now if you don't know what this is the moves d4, d5 and c4. This position is the Queen's Gambit. Black can either play the Queen's Gambit declined with e6 or maybe even c6. Now the Queen's Gambit Accepted is taking the pawn on c4. After c4, white will usually play moves such as e3, so if we play e3, now sometimes black will try to be greedy and hang on to their pawns here, and now the move to refute this idea is a4. We just want to break down this pawn structure so we can pick up our pawn on c4 again. And now if black is extra greedy now, if they try to defend with their a pawn, obviously they can't, because after takes, we just take his rook. So if they try to defend with the c pawn, black is actually completely lost here, and this is why. After takes, we have a move that just collapses black. They just crumble to pieces. I'll give you a couple of seconds to find it. Congratulations if you managed to find it, and the move here is actually queen to f3. As you can see here, we are attacking the rook and it is actually trapped. So now black has to suffer some severe material loss. They have to defend with maybe like knight c6 with his take, and then they'll have to do something like this where we've just won a piece cleanly. And yeah, that's the end of these traps today. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you liked it, please remember to like, subscribe, and maybe leave a comment on what was your best trap, or the one that you liked the most. Tell me if you try them and you ever manage to succeed in one of your games. And I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you all in the next one.